Hey, Blue Table fans, how's it going? Here's Josh and Spencer.
What's up?
So today we have for you a Batrep of, ready for this, heavy gear. That's right. Check it out. Here we have some new coal, a whole bunch of units. We're gonna
This
get,
is the most recent faction to be released.
yeah. We're gonna explain a little bit about this. And that was Spencer, by the way. This is my side. I'm running Southern Army. That's our setup. This is our board right here. We're playing on a 4x4 little area, and this is a demo game, partially so that I can learn and partially so that you can learn. And Spencer is going to be our heavy gear guru.
I'm going to try my best.
That's right. So we've already deployed, but right now Spencer's going to give us a quick rundown of basically what heavy gear is, how you deploy, and how it runs.
So heavy gear is a 1/144th scale. It's 10 to 12 millimeter, depending on how you want to look at it. Science fiction game. Basically, your main units are these little combat mechs called gears, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. So you got your regular guys.
Oh wait, dude, go slowly.
Sorry. So you've got like your regular sized gears. And the cool thing is these aren't like huge like Battletech style stuff. The pilot's head is actually in the head of that. So it's actually like a helmet.
So there's a guy in the helmet.
Yeah, so he sits in the torso and his head's up in the actual gear head.
Oh, I get it.
So if anybody's familiar with the old anime series Votoms, it's like that.
Okay, so what squad is this? Tell us.
This is a new cold general purpose squad.
General
It's
purpose. General purpose to die.
Oh, big talk. It is a bunch of chasseurs. So it's four regular dudes. This little command guy here with his different head. And I've got one with a bazooka.
Cool. What do we have over here?
This is a strike squad for New Coal. These are they're all weird names that I'm not super familiar with. These are Corsairs. It's all French named. I can't really get it right. So we have just a bunch of regular dudes. We've got command guy in here somewhere, and a guy with a bazooka again.
Cool. So what do we have over here?
Over here is my fire support team. It's got a chasseur, two jabroas, which are these little like motorcycle kind of dudes, like they got what is affectionately known as in the heavy gear communities the butt wheel.
The butt wheel.
So they can sort of crouch down and become like this.
Nice.
And then I've got two of these big dudes here, and these are.
Look at that. He has like an artillery piece and some missiles.
Chevaliers.
And a big gun.
Yes, so they've got an artillery gun, a missile pod. They've actually got a mortar too, but that's not really going to come into play. A couple of little machine guns. So they're pretty heavily armed. These are the piece de resistance of the New Coal faction. This is actually one of the first models shown off. This is the Hussar tank gear. So this thing is really cool, and so all these weapons are magnetized, and this is actually magnetized.
Oh yeah,
too.
that's right. By the way, we love to magnetize your armies, so make sure if you have an option that you get it magnetized. I mean, right now we're doing a 10,000 point Empire army. So Karl Franz, that's on Deathclaw, right? You have the option of having a regular general. You have the option of having a two-headed griffin with a wizard. We can do all the options, magnetize all the options. It's not an issue for us. So consider that. It's really cool when you get to take off Karl Franz, then put a wizard with a two-headed griffin, and your jealous playmate is like, what the heck's going on? Anyways.
And we've actually, I don't remember if it was this same client. This is a client's army he wanted us to do a Batrep for.
Yes.
But I don't remember if it was the same client that did this or if it was another client. But we actually had one guy who had all like the missile pods all magnetized and a bunch of the different hand weapons magnetized. So we can magnetize stuff even on these smaller models.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Okay, so now we get my side. Okay, so I kind of just deployed all the way up to the line. I'm not really sure if that's a smart thing to do or not, but hey, there's my strike squad. I have some, what do you call those things?
Black Mambas.
So yeah, these are Black Mambas. These bigger ones are Black Mambas. And then these little guys are Jaegers. And then I have a recon squad over here. And they're a bunch of iguanas with one Black Mamba in the middle. Then I have a Strider here that's called the Naga, I do believe, and he has artillery, so that's why he's just chilling back there.
And that is magnetized as well. That can
Yes.
also have missile options.
And then I have my fire support squad right there with a King Cobra, and that's this big dude on a round base, and a couple of spitting cobras, 3 spitting cobras, and then a little Jaeger right there, just hoping not to get shot. And that's my force. By the way, we're not sure as to the points. We just grabbed some models just to have some fun, and that's what we want to do and show off a little bit of everything. What else, Spencer?
So yeah, that's our layout. The average game. So Heavy Gear is actually kind of neat in that it works that each squad has a point cost, and then your army has what's called a threat value, or not threat value, priority level. And there's 4 of those, and those actually dictate how you build your army. So priority level 1, you have to take a lot of like cheap general purpose squads instead. But if you go up to priority level 4, you can have a whole bunch of really heavy stuff. So it's a really cool concept that kind of mixes it up.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, just as a side note, this terrain right here was given to us by a client as a trade, I believe, or something like that, and we just fixed it up. It's actually, he had made it for Drop Zone Commander, but it's actually pretty close to same scale, so we used it, and it's looking good. Okay. All right, so now Spencer's going to tell us basically how the game goes.
So the way the game works is it works on alternating activation of squads. And there's 4 steps to a turn. Actually, that works better if it's bigger. So step 1 is determining player, where you roll a d6 and whoever rolls highest gets to choose.
So you steal initiative every turn.
Each player rolls 1d6. You add +1 if your current army commander is a higher leadership than your opponent's army commander. Plus another +1 if you roll via the fewest combat groups. We were tied in that.
So, well, I mean, does every turn the initiative change hands if you roll well?
Yes.
Okay,
So we roll off every turn.
Right, so if anyone here listening to this video has ever played BattleTech, that's kind of the same way.
Yeah, it's similar to BattleTech, but also very different in the way things work. So the second step is activation. Hope you don't mind if I have my Kindle here.
No, that's fine.
So activation is actually when players alternate activating squads. So I would activate a squad, they would move, take whatever actions they're going to take, and then Josh will move, take whatever actions.
Boom.
And we'll just go back and forth until all the squads have activated. Step 3 is support events, where you can have things like airstrikes, off-board artillery, reserves. So if you have guys that can airdrop in, you bring them in during that step.
And we're kind of going to skip that one.
Steps 3 and 4 we're going to kind of skip over because...
Yeah, because we're learning. I'm learning.
Yeah. And step 4 is removing unspent actions on models, which isn't usually something that comes up. And then stuff like communications events where you can try and mess with your opponent's squads. But again, we're going to kind of skip over that because it's a bit complicated for a demo game. And I want to try and keep it to the basics of just moving, shooting, having fun.
Yep, and that's what we're going to do.
So those are the 4 steps of a turn in Heavy Gear Blitz.
Those 2 guys look scary, but those guys, they're going down.
Ooh.
All right, so Spencer, we've decided that, well, he deployed first, I deployed second because I won the roll-off and I made him do it, but he gets first turn.
Yep. So I'm going to go first. So I'm going to activate my general purpose squad. So these guys have a... So every gear, I guess I should explain this, has 2 movement types. You have walker and ground, because if you actually look at the models, they have like wheels or treads or something on the bottom of their feet, so they can kind of zip around. Hope that's focusing. Cool. It's definitely more noticeable on these guys.
Yeah, look at those
They're
treads.
just like 80% tread. So the first thing to do when you activate a squad is pick their movement type for the models. And there's stationary, combat speed, and top speed. And combat speed is normal movement. Top speed is if you run, and that takes an action to do. Movement normally doesn't take an action unless you decide to go to top speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk with these guys. So their walking speed, I'm going to go combat, is 4 inches. So they're not very quick. So they can move in any direction they want. 4 inches.
Now they're on hex basis.
Yep.
Does the facing matter?
It does. Weapons have facings depending on the hex base, and also when you're moving at top speed, you can only make so many turns based on how fast you're going, and a turn is determined by hexes.
Got
So
it.
if you're moving at top speed, you can turn one face.
Got it.
So since I'm moving at walker speed, I can just sort of move about freely as I see fit. So they're going to move up there.
Now you're going up to some sort of structure of the terrain, so naturally we all want to know, is there cover in this game and how does it work?
There is cover. It is based on true line of sight. Okay. So the way cover and concealment works, concealment is mostly to the active model. So if I were in here, it would slow me down and make me shoot less effectively. So depending on how fast you're going, it'll reduce your movement. So at combat speed, you lose it's -1 to your movement. At top speed, it's -2, and it's a -1 to your shooting attacks. Cover is based on true line of sight. So if a model is completely in the open and you shoot at him, you get a +1 modifier because he has nothing protecting him except his armor. If it's a quarter, partially covered, if it's up to half covered, you get no modifier. If it's mostly covered, you can still see the main body, it's a -1 to your attack. And if it's fully covered, but you can still see like a limb sticking out, it's -2 to your attack. So if I were to try and shoot him right now with this guy, even though it's not his activation, I would take modifiers because of how both range and cover.
Because of this piece of terrain.
Yeah.
From that guy to this guy. Okay.
So,
all right, so he's moved. Now what you can
so
do?
they're moved. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot with the guy with the bazooka because that's how I roll.
That's what he thinks.
So he has a light bazooka. So let's see how far away we are. So I'm going to shoot at this black mamba here.
Yeah.
So 18 inches. So every gun has 3 range bands. You have optimal, suboptimal, and like long range. At optimal range, you get +1 to your attack. I think. Hold on. So when you shoot, but depending on the range band you're at, you get modifiers. At optimal range, you get a 0 modifier. At suboptimal, you get -1, and at extreme, which is the longest, you get a -2. So in this case, I'm 18 inches away.
Okay, start rolling dice.
So my light bazooka is so I'm at suboptimal, so I'm going to be -1. He should be at attack 2.
Okay, we're shooting.
So we've established range, so I'm at a -1 to hit. His guy is stationary, so he shouldn't get any defense. Or no, he will get a defense. No, he gets no defense bonus. Don't mind me.
And you're shooting across that little piece of terrain, so does that obscure anything? True line of sight, so he's looking down.
Trying to get down.
Moving the
Doesn't bend that
terrain.
well. No, it doesn't look like it obscures him at all.
Okay.
So I'll get a +1 because you're in the open, so I'm kind of in the middle here. And then I'm in combat, so I'm just rolling.
Okay,
So
what do you need to roll?
You will roll. Here's how combat works. I roll my attack, and Josh will roll his defense.
Oh,
you should
okay.
have a defense of 2, possibly even 3 on that
Ooh,
guy.
you get those some dice.
So
All right, so is this a face-to-face roll, so to speak? Like you roll, I roll at the same time? Or
Yeah,
do you roll, and
so-
if any successes, I roll?
we're gonna roll.
Like armor saves?
Yeah, it's a face-to-face. So I just want to check real quick.
Okay, so just to recap, he has 2 attacks, because that's what is in his profile. I have defense 2, so that means I roll 2 dice. Are there any more modifiers for defense?
There are if you're moving.
Oh yeah, I'm not moving, so it's no modifiers, so
So
we're...
it's basically highest roll is gonna win.
Highest
One
roll is
die.
going to win. Here we go.
So
Boom.
I got a 5.
Oh, I got a 5 as well.
You got a 5. So
And I get
we
a 3.
tie, so nothing happens.
We tie, but my 3 beat your 1.
It's on a single die.
That's fine, it's fine.
So
Okay,
that shot ended up being just a complete miss. Nothing happened.
sweet. Okay,
I can shoot with my rifles. I think I will.
You probably should.
So,
Same guy?
yep, should be 17 inches. So on the auto cannon. See? No, it's a low. So that's -1 to my shot.
-1. Because he's good. Yeah.
So,
Ready? Here we go.
so
2 threes.
that worked out wonderfully. So this guy will try and shoot him as well, since he's the last
Okay.
one.
Well, I
to
mean,
see it.
he's not at infinity, right? He's not.
No,
Okay.
but it just he was first. Well, he's not going to be further than 42. So
Okay.
-1 again to my roll. So
Oh,
I got
he
a
got
6. So 5 total. So here's how it
5?
works. Because I'm -1, so it's the highest single roll you do.
Okay.
So there's a it's called the margin of success or margin of failure.
Margin of success is 1.
Yeah. So in this case, I would have a margin of success of 1. So I would take that number and multiply it by my damage modifier on my weapon.
Okay, and you know that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would do a total of 8, which I don't think is enough to get through your
Yes, his
armor.
damage modifier is ×8. So, okay, and so here's the book. We actually have it bound in a binder, and that guy's
Black
like,
Mamba.
he's a black mamba.
So you should have an armor of like
Okay. Oh man.
pretty.
All right, sorry. Here's the black mamba. You can't really tell all the numbers, but my armor is right here. It's actually a 17.
So
So his 8 damage just
does
bounces
not do
off.
anything.
All right.
So that's that squad, and now Josh will get to activate a squad and do what he wants to do.
Sweet. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is probably activate. I wanted to. Can you shoot through your own units? That's a good question.
With certain guns. So like your field gun can shoot over guys.
Okay, cool. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this little squad right over here, and I'm gonna move him. All right, so now it's my turn, and my strike squad here is actually going to be activated. Now I have black mambas, which have a movement of 5. They all do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go combat speed. I'm going to go
guys
5
move
inches.
5?
Yeah.
Jeez.
5.
Oh, this sounds
Okay, so I want to go in. I don't want to go in here yet. I just want to go right there. Do I need to say unit coherency?
Yeah, it's communication value of your leader, so
Communication value of my leader.
or whatever your
Positive.
squad leader is.
Alright, so we need to actually correct something. We found out that when you activate a squad, you do it one member at a time. So that's what I'm going to do right here, right now. So I'm going to activate first my leader dude. He's going to come over here at combat speed, and he's going to fire at those big guys, just cause.
Fire at them.
So we're at 16.5 inches,
Okay.
and I am using a medium autocannon. And I'm gonna I have a rate of fire of 1, which we just figured out, means that I can add 1 to the damage. But if I roll snake eyes on 2 dice, then my weapon jams and I have to reload. So that's what I'm gonna do. Ready,
Okay.
Spencer?
I'm going to check my defense value real quick for these guys.
Okay, so here we go. I'm in optimal range, so actually I get a +1 plus you're slow, or an open.
You get +1 because I'm in the open,
Right.
but you don't get +1 for
Okay.
being in optimal. It's just no modifier.
Okay.
So I'm going to, and then you don't get any modifier for your movement, right? You had a 0 for your combat speed.
I had a 1 for my combat. So what's
So you
that?
get another +1.
That doesn't make sense. Oh, hold on.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, it is 1.
Okay, so you're getting +2 to your die.
Plus
to your die
2
roll.
to my die. Here we go.
So,
Ready? Boom. Oh, there's an 8. That's definitely succeeding.
so my highest was a 4.
So I succeed. My success
Margin of
margin
success
is
is 4. So the damage of your weapon
It's
is,
times 10, so that's 40 damage.
so that's 40 damage. I have an armor of 22, so that's 1 point of damage on that guy.
1 point of damage.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. Oh, explain the damage points too.
So everything has damage points, and I'll flip open my book here.
Let me grab it so I can look at you, or they can look at you.
Josh wants to look at me apparently.
No,
So models have
they're not going to see that. But
well, models have damage boxes, and those damage boxes are broken up into different categories. So light, heavy, critical, and like standard.
so a standard gear will have 3 boxes. So
Yeah,
get hit 3 times, they die.
Most standard trooper gears will have 3. Some of the bigger stuff will have 4. There's some stuff like the Southern's like main big heavy tank. I think has like 5 or 6. It's also his armor 40, so you know.
Wow.
So this guy, if I open up this here, has 22. He has 4 damage boxes. So the first hit doesn't really do anything, but it takes a point off him. So I'm gonna mark that on him.
That's right. Mark it off.
Freaking autocannon.
That's a medium autocannon, by the way, for anyone that knows.
He takes.
Oh, and by the way, if anyone notices that we've made a bunch of mistakes, feel free to comment them.
Yeah, let us know, because
yeah.
I'm the only person here who really knows how to play the game, but I haven't really played too much. Most of my experience has been through demos. So.
Okay, well, there it is. Here's a damage point on that guy. That's right. First blood.
He's coming for you, Josh.
Bring him. Alright, so the next guy is going to be the bazooka dude.
Oh, no.
He is Jaeger. He has a 4/7 characteristic movement. So he moves 1 inch less, but he's still going to shoot at that guy.
Okay. Grab my dice.
And we grab our books. Jaeger. Okay, so when he moves, he has a 0 modifier.
Right. And his weapon, does it have an accuracy modifier of anything?
He is going to shoot his light autocannon and has a rate of fire. Oh, I did use my rate of fire.
That one has the bazooka. So light bazooka.
Okay.
Actually, that's a rapid fire bazooka. Let me double check that
Let's
real
double
quick.
check that.